Hello everybody, it's me, Kat. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Today we are going to talk about two books. It's a two-book series. I read both of the books. I'm going to talk about both of those books in the video today, so keep that in mind. I, really try not to give spoilers, but I do talk in detail about the books. So let's talk about Don't Let Me and Don't Stop Me by Marie Skye. Marie is a new to me author. I'd never read anything of hers before. I was very surprised at this story. This story was so much more than meets the eye, and really that happened throughout both books. There were constant shifts and twists and new things happening, and I literally at times was so confused in the best way. It just was, they were both such page turners, and the way the story unfolded, it just took me completely by surprise. The heroes' names are Damien and Jaxon, and the heroine's name is Olivia. So I thought I was going in reading a book about them and how they were going to figure out life as a triad. And it's so much more than that. Them figuring out their relationship as three is what kept me from being confused about the storyline. There's so many twists that I just felt like, where is this going? And who is this person? I thought that was a good person. Or what do you mean now all of a sudden you've been involved longer than we thought? These are all good things. These are all good things, good questions, good, good confusion that I had because, I got the answers as the story unfolded, and yet I was still hanging on the edge the whole time. So Olivia is kind of the center of this whole book. And she meets, I don't even know how to talk about it because what you think on the surface is not what is going on behind the scenes with them. Oh, you see my dog walking around? My cat is sitting on our cat is sitting on the other side of the door. And so our dog is going over and they're gonna play by the door. Anyway, I digress. Olivia is the center of this whole story, and it is kind of about what goes around her. And we think that Jaxon and Damien are friends. They've been friends since college, very good friends. We know that they have, they call it the game, where they have, if one of them has something that the other one wants, it's understood that the one is just going to take it and the other one's not going to be mad. So whether it's a video game or it's a girlfriend, if the other one wants the girlfriend, they're just going to go and take her and have their way with her and then give her back. So, boys. So, okay, fine. So Olivia comes into their life and she's the next one. But the story unfolds in that Jaxon has been told to watch her. And so he watches her. We don't know what Jaxon does for a living, really. He's in some sort of security. And then Damien is a doctor, and Olivia is an interior designer trying to get her business started. And Damien and Olivia are actually married. But we get further back before that happened. But so we know the way the book starts is that Jaxon is told he needs to watch her, and he's been watching her for years. He knows everything about her. It's kind of sinister, what's going on behind the scenes. It's dark. And not overly dark, but it's dark. So Jaxon is supposed to like hold steady and just kind of watch her, but he falls in love with her, and he realizes that he's supposed to go ahead with what he's been hired to do at some point. But if he can get Damien involved, that Damien can protect her, and who better than your best friend to take care of the woman you love? And there is this, and anyone that reads the book is probably going to laugh when they hear me say this, there is this sweetness that comes out with both Damien and Jaxon when it comes to Olivia. Now, let me tell you, it is super steamy. You know, is there cheating? You know, because that's a trigger for me. I stay away from cheating, mostly at all costs. But because of the way Marie wrote this book, it didn't really seem like cheating to me, so I was okay with it. And you know that as the story progresses, that poor Olivia is in love with Jaxon as well, and is in love with Damien. And we know that they've had their game with her, and that they've also said, we're never going to talk. Damien actually says, we're never going to talk about it. That the time that Olivia spent with Jaxon, he's aware of. He knows it was going to happen. He helped him plan it, but they're never going to talk about it again. And he gets pissed when he gets brought up because, of course, and the way Marie writes it, which was so amazing, is that they're both totally jealous of each other, but they're best friends, but they both want her. And there's all this stuff behind the scenes going on, and they're trying to protect her, and they know people are after her, and she doesn't know what's going on behind the scenes, and all of a sudden she's exposed to it, and something happens, and Jaxon has to step in, and she doesn't skip a beat. So it's like, how much does she know what's going on? You know, very intriguing, really good story. Jaxon, pardon me, Jaxon is this super hot alpha male, really rich, totally in love with her, totally domineering in the bedroom. They both are. They kind of had this thing where it was like, well, she doesn't really get a choice. We're just doing this. And I kind of didn't like that, but yet it went along with what their characters were and how they were with her. And so sometimes it kind of bugged me, but yet she was such a spitfire that she would just give it right back to him. So I thought, okay, well, she holds her own with them completely. So I didn't, you know, then I was like, oh, it's okay. I think in books, when we have that kind of mentality where they're so alpha male and like it's just about them, and even about them exuding their power over, you know, their woman, and she just has to take it, you know. I don't really like that. But I felt like Marie balanced this well with them, even though they were so like, well, she doesn't really have to has a choice. You know what? When it came down to it, Olivia didn't really want the choice. She wanted to be taken care of. Can you see her laying over there? She's laying over there whining. Let me talk about my books, girlfriend. Olivia wanted them to exert their power over her. That's, you know, that's how she felt protected and loved, and she was totally into it. The girl was not a wallflower. She was equally as sexually involved. And then there was kind of a twist where we got something with Damien, and we had just gotten these, you know, snippets of these twists with Jaxon and Olivia, and then all of a sudden Marie throws in this one about Damien, and it was like, wait, what? Isn't he just the best friend? He was more than meets the eye as well, and that was really interesting. You never knew who to trust in the book. I mean, you could trust the three of them. She's gonna find out that Jaxon, you know, that they knew her basically before she knew them. The book is all drama, But that moment when she found out things, she was more angry. And it didn't stop her. And she was just really pissed off at them. And of course, she had every reason to be. I appreciate a very strong woman who knows herself well enough. And she, Olivia, knew herself. And she stood right up to them each and every time until we came to a point in the book where she couldn't. And that's where we get chapters from all of them. The book is told from each of their perspectives, and I loved that. But we, like I said, we get to the point where she just can't. There is all this stuff that's gone on. She's just trying to protect them as well. She's trying, read the book, you'll know what I'm talking about. And she kind of falls apart. And the way they handle her in these moments, and there's other moments like this, but these particular moments, and this is in Don't Stop Me, more or less. It was so sweet. And they had this softness about her, as hard as they were and as, alpha as they were and how domineering they were in the bedroom. There was this sweetness and softness when it came to her needs and how they wanted to care for her and how they really were, how do I cross three fingers? How they really were a team. And it wasn't always that way. Damien got to marry her and it killed Jaxon. And, what are you going to do? You can't marry two men. And how that all played out, so well done. This is not just a book about, I've read recently some books that were kind of fluffy, that are MMF books. And, it's just kind of about the sex and, figuring out if they can be a three. And this book was a lot more. For me, it was a lot more. I loved the parts where we saw them trying to figure out their relationship and how they cared for her and how lucky she was that she had these big, strong guys that were, she had two of them, not just one, but two, and how, she worried about very normal things like how are they going to be accepted because Damien is a doctor and he has a charity and, they're in the public eye a bit. She keeps you on the edge of your seat all the while with all this stuff going on behind the scenes and twisting and turning around in the story. And yet the meat of this was the three of them figuring out how to be together. And I thought it was really sweet. I liked it. I liked it. Super steamy, like I said. Very hot. So let me know if you have read anything by Marie Skye before. Let me know if you've read these books in the comments below or what you have read of hers, because I would love to hear what else I should read of hers. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I will see you soon.